at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue. I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall, and if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Well, welcome to Open Mic America. Today we have the one and only TK Tran as our engineer. Robert Edgar will be our interviewer, and I am Evan Acey. I'm going to be your MC. Our mission is to support your local open mics, and it is our pleasure to present the more accomplished singers, songwriters who play at those events. Without gimmicks and frills, this is the beating heart of American music. That tapestry of story and song that has been weaving us together for generations. And now let's introduce all of our performers, and everybody wave as I introduce you to the crowd. Starting off today's show, we're going to have Glenn Mershell. Glenn is in Monroe, North Carolina. Alice Osborne is going to be next from Raleigh, North Carolina. And all the way from Brunsville, North Carolina will be Jill Einschneider. Bridget Ferguson is coming in from Ridgeland, Massachusetts. Oh, no, Bridget, sorry. Max Newton, you will be next from Berkeley, California. Brian Irie from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. AJ Kapowski, Chelmsford, Massachusetts. And then after AJ will be Patrice Webb from Sandpoint, sorry. And Evan Purcell, you're coming all the way from Tacoma, Washington today. And so that is our lineup for today. You can find links to their work on our website and on this YouTube video. So our first guest today is going to be Glenn Mershell. Glenn, what do you have in your heart? Hey, by the way, Glenn, you said your favorite open mic, because we want everybody to know that, is Homebrew Monroe in North Carolina. It's on the third Thursday of the month.
Yes.
So what do you have in your heart that you want to bring to America in song today?
Well, this is a song that I wrote about like floating on the ocean, just a dream I had. So I call it As the Dream Fades Away. So here we go. Weak and lonely one, keep you warm or keep you young in the dark of the night. When the night it enters you, feel awoken from a dream. When the pain it hurts so much, makes you wanna scream. As you enter into the dream, visions softly fade. Strange thoughts float upstream as the dream fades away. Floating on the open sea, just you and me. Waves crashing all around, shivering, you cling to me. As you enter into the dream, visions softly fade. Strange thoughts, they float upstream as the dream fades away. night is done today, sunlight shining where you lay, as the dream fades away.
Yeah, that's how you start a good
Thank you
show.
very much. I hope you like that one. Okay. So this next one, I kind of a car buff. I don't consider myself a massive car buff, but my brother was a Ford mechanic for like 35 years, so we tinkered around on cars. But this is something I wrote about Pontiac. You know, I thought it was a good brand from GM, and then they kind of fizzled out. But I heard recently that they might bring it back again. So this is a song about a worker at a Pontiac factory in Michigan. So I hope you like that. It's called Pontiac. Detroit's a beautiful city, hell with anyone says. Went to work that morning, as I always have. I put the seats in Pontiacs the past 20 years. I raised me a fine family, drank a couple of beers. One day the big boss came in, said the plant's gonna close. Pontiac is shutting down, as General Motors did with Old Al cried, he's raising a grandson, the mother died. Sally Ann cried too, she's on her own, husband left her dry. It's our Pontiac, the party lasted 83 years. It's our Pontiac, an American affair. American affair. Had a 70 Ventura of the Bonneville, Le Mans Grand Prix and GTO. These are classics still. Seen a 67 Firebird, cost as much as a house. Catalina, Chieftain and Trans Am, they're going down that old 66 route. It's our Pontiac, never disappear. It's our Pontiac, red arrowhead edged in tears. Edged in tears. Edged in tears.
That song has wheels.
That 12-string sang. Great.
Yes, I want to see Dave build one of those 12-string gypsies. I'll be the first to buy one. So.
He needs to build one with a standard transmission, I think.
Exactly.
Hi, Glenn.
Yes, hello, Robert.
Liked your songs very much. The first one interested me, and I was wondering if you'd have anything to say about the influences on the way you composed it and the way you play it. say, from other guitar players?
Do you mean like certain musical influences? Is that what you mean, or
Yeah.
just how I came up with the song kind of thing? Well, I kind of studied on classical guitar first, in probably seventh, eighth grade, around there.
Uh-huh.
So I try to throw in a lot of classical type things, vibrato and work chords around those kind of things. So sometimes it works, sometimes not.
It was very nice, and playing the melody on there and kind of droning a lot of the rest was interesting. It called out almost like a dulcimer, like one.
Yeah, I do. I recommend 12 string. A lot of players are, a little bit afraid of it, but once you start horsing around with them, I mean, it is a little harder on your hands and everything, but I think it's a great instrument for people to try. If not, I make it my main instrument really when I gig. Not many people do. But give it a try, pick up one. But you have to get a decent one. I think we spoke about this with Dave last time. Can't get a cheap 12 string. You'll be sorry.
Right. Very early on, one of my first guitars was a cheap 12-string that I had in Florida, and the thing bowed and
Yes.
was
Yeah.
impossible to play.
Yeah.
But now I've got both an acoustic and electric 12-string, and loving for the acoustic, I tune it down a full step. And
Yes, that's a
echo
good
it up.
idea. Yes.
That's it. You lose probably a little bit of the range of tone, but it plays much easier on that.
It does, yeah. And I usually go down a half step
Uh-huh.
on 12 strings. Yeah.
For the second song, I wondered, songs about cars and by Americans or something. Before we had surf songs, we had car songs.
Exactly, yeah.
There's
Beach
something,
Boys and before.
yeah, there's something very personal about cars and for us
Yeah,
Americans.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I kind of wrote that one. It was, I'm a Chicagoan, but we live in North Carolina now, and there's a lot of country influences here, which I like. I like country, and so I was just kind of playing around with those chords, and I'm like, well, I read something about Pontiac, and I just like, well, I'll write about someone who worked at a Pontiac factory. So,
Uh-huh.
one good thing about songwriting, you can take things from the news, magazine articles, newspapers, and just do write something about one of those articles.
Yeah, that's true. And but cars for Americans, they're so much part of our lives. We don't have
Yeah.
a lot of the transportation systems that in much of our country that other countries may have. And
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
rely on
trains.
them, and we park them in our own garages. So again, it's as personal as it comes up, kind of like guitars. Okay, lovely. And did you say this is your first time
No, I think
on
it's
this?
probably my third, something around third or
Uh-huh.
fourth. Yeah,
Okay. Well, great.
yeah. Thank
And
you for having me and all of us. I'm looking forward to hearing everyone. So
yes, absolutely. I loved your songs very much. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Glenn. I really felt like I was listening to Trevor Rabin from Yes. I mean, when you were playing that first song, really quite wonderful. Great guitar work in that. Enjoyed that a lot. Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, yes, it's been a big influence on me. So
Right on. So now our next performer is no stranger to the Open Mic America team and to this stage. Alice Osborne, it's wonderful to see you tonight. Really looking forward to hear what you've got to play. So you favor the Compass Rose Open Mic in North Raleigh, and folks, you can share that stage if you're in the area every Sunday night. And so let's turn this over to Alice, and good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too, Evan. So my first song is called Rattlesnakes, and in the intersection between love and driving on I-80 West, there are certain risks. I drive without headlights. I leave my guitar out all night. what's going on inside of me. Oh, I drink too much. Yeah, I talk too much. Scrolling through my phone, hey mama bear, what's new? I'm so darn different when I'm with you. Oh, let's drop everything and run away, and maybe change our names. Hey, did you know Joan Didion hated rattlesnakes? She hated them rattlesnakes, those rattlesnakes. I roll in from Reno, and I go too slow over the dry, crack roads. Oh, I lose a side mirror, but I find some compadres, and they tell me to pray. Hey, city bear, what's new? I'm so darn different when I'm with you. Oh, let's drop everything and run away. Maybe change our names. And hey, did you know Joan Didion hated rattlesnakes? She hated them rattlesnakes. Jock folks rattlesnakes. Drive with headlights. I leave you behind. Listen to a voice that's not sweet. Oh, I merge in fast, and I break at last. I watch you fly away. Hey, city bear, what's new? I find myself when I'm with you. Oh, I drop everything and think I'll get you back in a wink. 'Cause I ain't afraid, hey, of rattlesnakes. Ain't afraid. No, I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid of rattlesnakes. Those rattlesnakes. I ain't afraid of rattlesnakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is a true story. I drove without headlights and a cop got me. So, no ticket, but that was a good inspiration. The next song is called Mountain Blaze, and wildfire can catch up to you and can catch you unaware, just like love can. Met you on a mountain of 7,000 feet, where the wind blew smoke hard in from the east. I'm a solo act, don't surprise me, far from home, all alone. I like control, but you took it away. The air grows thick with ash. Something's pulling at me to stay far from home, but not alone. That air breeze around you, and everything was fine before you. Danger stay the same. A north wind is good and a west wind's wrong. Is the fire coming out the canyon too strong? Far from home, but not alone. Bad air breeze around you. Everything was fine before you. Danger weeds around you. Our paths cross, but every day. Our paths cross and we burn every day. Have to get away. Something's pulling at me to stay in this desert, far from home, but not alone. I see you, you see me. Will the winds switch in time? Pray the skies clear in time, 'cause everything was fine before you. Danger leads around you, and wonder sweeps around you, and our hearts cross. We burn every day. Our hearts cross and we burn every day. Yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 every day.
Me. And
Hi, Alice. Where are you
Hello,
located
Robert.
again?
How are
Where are
you?
where are you located?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh. Oh, okay. So East Coast.
Yes,
I'm
East
there.
Coast. Capital of
So,
North Carolina. Yes.
so you mentioned Joan Didion,
I
and
did.
I was wondering, do you know why she called her one book the White Album? I don't either. I read it recently, and I thought maybe you would be that. I have my own ideas, but it's interesting because in the book she doesn't mention the White Album, and when we write songs, we write them about things like rattlesnakes or other things, and we can mention them or not, but the subjects kind of resonate once we bring them up, and I think there's a resonance throughout her book that she gets just from naming it. What attracted you to Joan Didion? To just the one quote, or was there
Her
something else?
family, I'm a Donner Party scholar, and her family was on the Donner Party, but
Ah,
they went to Oregon instead of California. So if her parents had made a wrong, had taken the shortcut with the Donners, she may or may not have been alive. So
yeah,
it was a big part of her her existence, and these stories came down to her. And her grandfather said, "Always be aware of rattlesnakes," and she used California as a state of great beauty but great danger. And I was on a Zoom call, and it was a horrible Zoom call. I had to pay $10 for it. It was about, I was learning about history of Sacramento, and
yeah.
Joan Didion's the patron saint of Sacramento, and they just blurted out, she hated rattlesnakes. I wrote it down. I said, okay, that's worth the $10. I'm using that in the song. And the first verse is the speaker says, scrolling through my phone, being distracted. And I'm assuming the speaker probably just pops up, oh, there's a story about Joan Didion, and I'll just talk about it randomly. So it was a non sequitur, and I thought it goes with the weirdness of the song. It was just little bits all put together, and then the last part, the speaker says, I'm not afraid of rattlesnakes, so I'm ready to charge forward, even if I can't see what's ahead of me. With the headlights, not, yeah.
And then your second song is also about danger, being a fire on that,
Right.
and ain't life such?
And that song is all autobiographical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find you look to that often when you write songs? To
I have
yourself?
now. Yeah, now I do. I'm writing really, really personal songs, and I was coached to do that, and now I'm doing it. So it's a little scary at first, and then once you build the muscle, it goes pretty well. But the second song is about the mosquito fire of 22, and I was at Donner Summit when it
Oh,
happened. I was there. So the first song is more when I was in California in February, and I was coming from Reno, and I didn't have a side mirror, and I said this has to be a song, and I wrote some stuff down, and then I combined, and then the second song was my experience performing at Donner Lake or with Well, we couldn't see the lake, and then Donner Summit because of the fires were coming in, and all the stuff about west wind's wrong, winds wrong, and north wind. That was all accurate stuff.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's nice when you have a subject and that you do the research and learn on it and can bring it to it. That's it makes it interesting as a
Actually, I
songwriter.
just took it from a guy's email, so because he was contemplating canceling the whole deal, and I said, "Oh, this is good material. I'll ask him if I can use it." It's good.
Excellent. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I did too. We writers, we take from everything.
Yeah, that's right. If it's there. Hey,
Yeah,
thanks,
and
Alice.
it
And
rhymes. I was like, I can rhyme canyon. I can figure this out. It's gonna be. So on both songs, there's a an outer danger and an inner danger. So it's the outer and it's the exterior and the interior, and I'm looking at that with all my songs. I'm going back to California in 3 months, and I'm working on 10 songs, and I'll have 2 songs after California, I'm sure, but want to have that 10, and I'm just at number 7 right now.
excellent.
Right.
Excellent. Well, being a Californian, I appreciate your doing so. Thanks for the
Cool.
attention.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Thanks,
Robin.
Alice. Thanks
Sure.
very much. See you again.
Indeed. Thank you, Alice. It's always a pleasure to have you on the Open Mic America stage. And so next, we're going to go ahead and open up the stage to Jill Einschneider. She's in Burnsville, North Carolina, and I don't figure you are probably much of a stranger everywhere you go, right? Because you really are vocal and you like to share with people. I think it's a real gift for you. And so your favorite local open mic is a Camden's Coffee House there in Mars Hill, North Carolina. Jill, what do you have in your heart that you want to share with us through song today?
The first song that I'm going to do is called The River. And I spent 40 some odd years, well, more than that, 50 or 60 years near oceans. But when I moved to North Carolina, the river absolutely attracted me and gave me inspiration to be reminded of a river that's inside of me, which is flowing, which is teaching me and guiding me through whatever's going on. And so this is my first song. It's called The River. Listen to the sound of the river. Hear the waters flow as they go. Catch your dreams before they slip away. Sit upon the hearth of pure love, feel the flame that presides, catch your dreams before they slip away. There will always be excuses. The mind is the master of that. But when the heart is open to feel, the river will bring you home, will bring you home. Listen to the sound of your heartbeat. Know the reality. Catch your dreams before they slip away. Feel a peace within you. You lost it along the way. Catch your dreams before they slip away. Listen to the sound of the river. Hear the waters flow as they go. Catch your dreams before they slip away. There will always be excuses. The mind is the master of that. But when the heart is open to feel, the river will bring you home, will bring you home.
Woo!
Woo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Great reminder. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, we need a lot of reminders these days. So the next song is a song I had done once before, I believe, on Open Mic America. It's so wonderful to be here. I really love it. So this one is called The Romance of Life. We don't think of romance. You know, we always kind of identify romance with a lover, a husband, a wife. And I always kind of look at the big picture. So my big picture in my life is my breath, the energy that is generating that breath. And I always understood, I think I must have written this a long time ago. I don't have it written down, but it had to be 30 years ago at least. And it's, actually, I took the chords. I used to sing in nursing homes when, in the 80s, when, you know, the music that the audience in the nursing homes was interested in were songs from the 30s and maybe the 40s. And I used to love the chord patterns, the jazzy style of some of those old-fashioned 30s songs. That's what you steal. You steal little chord patterns and make it your own. The romance of life is right inside me, waiting for me to find out what I really long for. When I can't be quiet, I can hear love speak to me freely. I'll grab a hold feels so good to know that this love will help me to grow in the romance of life. Life is full of surprises. It'll hit you up, bust you down, just be going round and round. Keep on moving. It's more fun that way. I know it's true. I just wouldn't lie to you. It feels so good to know that this love will help me to grow in the romance of life. The story's been told longer than I know. It's free for me and you when we are really ready. The sun is shining, yeah, and the birds are singing. God knows I feel this life down to my very toes. It feels so good to know that this love will help me to grow in the romance of life. In the romance of life. I'm gonna get that. I think there was a song called All of Me. Why not take all of me? Yeah, so I think that's the song I used to copy the pattern of those chords. But yeah, it's all good. It's fun. Nice
Yeah,
to
I've
meet
got
you,
a fake
Robert.
book that has all of me in it. Very nice.
Thank you.
Um, on these, when I'm asking questions and such, I sometimes bring questions with me, but actually I try to pull them out of the music and the people who are singing them. You mentioned that there are different types of romanticism that we usually speak about, but you brought it to the romance of life to change its focus. But you bring the word with it so that it carries the meanings with it, bring it along that are resonant for all of us. And you move that, and that helps create a space for your words. It also, you mentioned the ocean, that you lived by the ocean for a long time, but then moved to a river and I have something close to that. I grew up by the ocean, and the inside of the ocean was kind of the bay on the land side of the island that I was on. So, and the shapes of those bring different metaphors to songs. And you said the river would bring you home. I'm thinking ocean might not bring you home in the same way. Does that
Well,
make any
right
sense
now,
for you?
yeah, well, and right now it's making even more sense for me because I have fallen in love with the mountains. I'm out in the mountains, even on a rainy day, cold rainy day like today. I just, I dress like a little Eskimo, and hike these mountains. I'm addicted.
Uh-huh.
And then there's like these little streams and, you know, tributaries to wider rivers in the area where I live, and I find it very makes me really happy because I know I couldn't live in a desert. I have to be near water. Maybe because of the early life that I spent as a child by the ocean.
Uh-huh. So do you think the music is in nature first, or do you think it's in us and we bring it to these places?
A little bit of both. I think I get inspired. Trees, oh my God, I am such a tree hugger. There's one section of the community where I live, and I have to drive up a little bit higher than where I live. And all the trees, they talk to me. They really, really do. And they give me perspective
Uh-huh.
to not be freaked out by different things and things that go on and happen. Christmas Day, this is a story, just a short one, but the sprinkler, it was 10 degrees outside, and the sprinkler in the top apartment above me, it broke. And all of a sudden, I was in my closet where I have my recording studio, and I hear rain. And I look at my bedroom, and everything is raining on my entire apartment. Heavy, a lot of rain, a lot of water. So what do I do first? I grab my 5 guitars and get them to a safe, dry place in the house.
Absolutely.
And then the next thing, I go back to the recording studio and get my expensive recording equipment and all the wires that went with it. And I was still in my pajamas. It was Christmas Day. I was just hanging out, enjoying my life and being grateful. And there I am in the middle of a storm in my own place. And but, you know, it all worked out. Somebody gave me a place to stay and said, don't worry, when you get your insurance money, you'll pass then. And now I'm staying in a whole new place, but they're starting construction actually this week to redo the damage, which wasn't my fault. So they're paying.
Ah, well, the water came and found you after all.
Yes. So the song, you know, it's funny, that river song, I've never recorded that song. And I think, you know, I'm kind of getting into just water.
Very nice.
It's all good. Everything is coming out fine.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're on the other side of that event.
And the guitars are safe.
That's right.
And
Well,
my expensive recording equipment. Oh my God.
And of course, the guitars are the trees, so you took care of them too.
Right. Absolutely.
Thanks, Jill. Pleasure to hear your songs and your singing.
Thank you so much. I love
Thanks.
being here. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Robert.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, we love it when you're here too, Jill. That's why, you know, you keep getting invited back. I mean, thank you so much for sharing once again. Very much appreciate your music.
Thank you so much.
All right, so now our next performer, again, no stranger to the OMA stage, Max Newton. You're down in Berkeley, California, still today, and one of your favorite local open mics is a Fireside in Alameda, California. And so that's a little bit of a drive for you, but not so far out of range. And so, you know, you've got really quite a catalog of music. What is it that's in your heart you want to share with Open Mic America today?
Well, you know, I noticed that there's not one group of people who very rarely gets represented in modern music are sociopaths. And so I figured I'd do a song from the point of view of a sociopath. It's a love song, as much as a sociopath can love. We can dedicate to this to any number of well-known public sociopaths. It's called Come to Bed. close your eyes and lay your head next to mine. Won't you come to bed? Broken hearts take a time to mend. So hold me tight and come to bed. It's not your fault that he lost his head. He's just a fool who left your bed. He was your man and my best friend, but he's not here now. So come to bed. When I handed him the ring to put on you, well, it broke my heart. It broke in two, and he made me swear that I would care for you if he should, pass away somehow, like people do. But now it seems he's found somebody new. Yes, he has, and he needs to break another heart before he's through. But she'll be gone before the rent is due, and I just can't help but wonder if I'm wrong for not telling you. It's not your fault that he left your bed, 'cause I paid her well just to test his pledge. He could be here, but I'm here instead. So take my hand and come to bed. Yeah, take my hand and come to bed. He's a bad man. Now, this one's the point of view of another loser. Poor guy. To paraphrase W.C. Fields, he came to the big city looking for fame and fortune and stumbled upon a keg of, in this case, vodka, and continued stumbling for several decades thereafter. And he ends up getting a job, and I think you'll figure that out who it is. If I had a stick that could reach to the stars, I'd flip heaven over and capture your heart. But it's my job to hold open doors for you to walk through. From the limo and the lobby and the elevator, and sometimes carrying bags to your floor, but mostly just shining windows and brass. These city folks don't let you ever relax. Now you got the penthouse and I got the chores. Yeah, I'm the king of the big double doors. Now if I had a wheel and an inclined plane, a pulley and a wedge to get into your brain, then you might finally learn my name. But I'm not not sure we speak the same tongue. I'm getting older and you're still too young for me. You drink Cristal from a fluted glass. I'm sneaking vodka when I go to the can. I keep a second flask deep in the drawer. Yeah, I'm the king of the big double doors. Yeah, if I could change what I've been drinking, maybe I could change my fate. But those TV ads, I've seen your face and they tell me that's Courvoisier. You wear Prada, Rolex and Cartier. I wear security blues and pepper spray. I keep an extra umbrella handy, just in case, so you don't get wet between the doors, between the limo and the big double doors. Now our security system, we got that hooked up online. And one late night alone on my shift, I got high and I Googled around and I found out about those 6 simple machines. Now they go back to antiquity, They're the lever, the wheel, and the inclined plane, the pulley, the wedge, and the screw. Well, anyway, you came in late with the new chaperone. His shoes cost more than some cars that I've owned. Yeah, tool number 6, he was spinning for you. Am I just a wedge making way for a screw? Yeah, sometimes I wish I could be something more than the king of the big double doors. King of the big double doors. I figure since we're having Oscar night tonight, there should be some story songs about people like that.
I think you're right. Thank
We're
you.
competing with the Oscars, guys.
It's good to see you, Max.
Likewise, Robert. How's paradise?
Well, it burned down a couple of years ago, Max, as you know.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about that.
That was something, actually, the people who lived next door to me here had lived in the house, and but others may not know. I'm in Sunnyvale in California Central, just very near Max. They lived in that house for like 30 years, and right when we moved here, actually not right when we moved here, but a couple years ago, they sold their house and moved to Paradise.
Oh, no.
And within 3 months, the fires went through there. And I don't even know what happened to them, but that was a story in itself.
Bad timing.
One thing that I have always liked about your songs, Max, is that you tend to describe real-world objects and use them rather than to characterize a situation and say what you think of it. And it always seems that approach has more power than a characterization. Because the symbols,
I was a writer back in college, and they used to say, don't tell me about it, show it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That.
So I bought into that.
Yeah, and it works very well because things don't close off as with the shape of the characterization. You got the penthouse and I got the chores. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's open-ended. rather than saying, you're an asshole and I have to work hard.
Yeah, well, we'll leave that to the audience to figure out.
Well, that's it. That's it. And it's an important thing about songwriting, I think. With
Storytelling, at least, yeah. Right.
Uh-huh. Yeah, in different ways. King of the big double doors. King of the, and it could be almost anything, double doors. Okay, so then all of a sudden you're hit with this symbol, this, which is an object in itself. Right. So it creates the symbol in relation to the other words in the songs.
Yeah, thanks.
The other thing I noticed that your first song that was, as you say, kind of strange because psychopath, and the music you put to it was like a 3-chord rockabilly. Mm-hmm. So when you went to strange with the lyrics, you went to super standard with the music, and I wondered if you had thought about that.
A little deception there, I mean, the way I introduced it today was sort of in the context of other people singing like these nice, hopeful, beautiful songs, and it felt like it would be good to say there's a little counterpoint happening here. But I like to sneak up on people sometimes. This guy's playing a trick on a couple people in order to get his way, and so, if you're going to sneak up like that, you want to sneak up with the music too.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. All right. So I'm as everyone can see, I'm timing my discussions and keeping them to 4 minutes.
Good.
So that everyone gets a chance and that we get out at the standard time.
I certainly like these things to be as short as possible when I'm doing them too. So.
Enjoy your music. It's good to see you again, Max.
Good to see you too, Robert. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Indeed. Thank you, Max. Always a pleasure and entertaining for sure whenever you take the stage on Open Mic America. And so now our next performer is going to be Brian Eyre from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. And Brian, your favorite local open mic takes place at Galluccio's. And is that a weekly event?
That is, maybe I'm getting a message here. Okay. Mute myself. Okay. So, so actually it's every Tuesday night.
Huh.
And that open mic is really an amazing open mic. I don't know why. It's just anybody off the street can walk in and play. But it's just amazing the people that come through there, the talent and everything. It's just amazing.
Wonderful. Well, so, clearly they found your talent there, and so we're looking forward to enjoying some of that too. So what is inside of you today that you would like to share through song?
Well, the first thing song I'd like to play is a song about kind of the busy, the frenetic life of working, and also a little bit of like a clock analogy, like in a basketball game or something like that. It's called Working the Clock.
Ah, that
cool,
false
very
stop
cool.
was fun. You had me there for a second. That was awesome.
Yeehaw, yeehaw, nice stuff.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so the second song is kind of like a journey song, and it's about like starting something new, something big, getting married, a new project, a new job, a new phase of your life. So this one's called The New Beginning.
Wow,
Fun.
great.
What fun.
That's exciting playing, Brian. That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Very percussive. When can you talk a little bit about developing your approach to the guitar there?
Yeah. The I was originally an electric lead player back in the day, and as life happens, your life changes. You have a career, you have a family, and everything, and it just wasn't in the cards to be in bands at that time. So I came across fingerstyle guitar, having worked with a guy that was a fingerstyle guitar player and I said, "You mean like finger picking?" And he goes, "Kind of, So he kind of introduced the idea to me, and when I started looking into it, they're the players that I was then introduced to. I just that was so amazing. I'm like, that's what I want to do. And the thing about playing in fingerstyle is like you're doing the whole thing. You're the bass player, you're the guitar player, you're the keyboard player. You're playing bass, you're playing lead. You're doing the whole thing, and that was something I could do. And it took kind of a while to sort of figure it all out, but over time, as you're like watching these different YouTube videos and those sorts of things, at the beginning, it all just looks like juggling and magic and impossibility. But as you sort of learn and develop, it's almost like a demystification process. Like the things that look like I have no idea what they're doing, later on becomes like, I see what they're doing, and you sort of add it to your capabilities, that, the things that you can do. And I always like to write. So that was a natural. I started off on piano originally, actually, and I thought back in the day wrote better on piano than I did on guitar. But this style of playing it's almost like playing keyboard in some respects, because you're really playing individual notes mostly, as opposed to like whole chords, even though you use chords. So I don't know, it just appealed to me, and I got bitten by the bug of it and just kept going.
Oh, you have a wonderful mastery of it. One of the things that appeals to me out of that style, out of that approach, is that, yes, you're playing notes and you're playing scales, but you're also playing almost orchestrally with the sounds of the harmonics, the percussion, and so it's not just a song or a composition based on scale and notes. It's a complete orchestration for the sound, and that's and you did a great job of it. A lot of Brazilian guitarists have a very percussive approach to those songs, and yours is your own music, but the approach like that is really interesting.
Yeah, and I think also back in the day I was a drummer to some degree as well, and I think that really helps, and to sort of have that background of the bass drum, the snare, the cymbal crashes, those sorts of things, and sort of trying to work that in. And back in the day, when even in bands, I really liked liked doing arrangements, and this really fits that.
Absolutely, I think so. Well, it was great to hear you, Brian, and I look forward to hearing you again. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
If I may,
Brian-
that reminded me so much of George Gershwin's work. Really did. I had that feel to it, that energy.
Thank you very much.
So Brian, thank you so much. Really, that was quite a treat. And I have a question that I would like to ask you. So when you were picking out the guitar that you wanted to own and play, did the type of wood and its ability to stand up to the percussive portions of your playing at all make a difference in your decision in which guitar you ended up with?
Well, I sure hope it did, because
Right.
it's going to take the abuse. But it's interesting. I got this guitar. It's a Taylor 814 CE. And my son and I actually went to this Taylor Road show at a place called Appalachian Bluegrass in Catonsville, Maryland. And it's a wonderful, thing to attend. But I knew that night I was going to buy a guitar. And so after all the people, left the store and everything, the Taylor Factory guys figured out what tuning I was in and just started tuning the guitars that they brought with them into that tuning. And they just kept handing me guitars. And it was really quite a night. I ended up with this one, which wasn't any of the guitars that they had brought with them. It was the one that the store had in stock, actually, and I had played an 814 already. But it was really, and I have other Taylors as well, but this one just really, really fit. And it's almost like a very stiff guitar. But I think it holds up to this. And the one thing I really, really liked about it was, in addition to, the treble strings ringing true, it's really a guitar that can resonate the bass. And in alternate tuning, you really need that because you're generally tuning down, especially the bass notes. And I've tuned down to a G sharp on this, and still it can resonate it. And so I don't usually do that, but I do have some material in that. So it's a great question, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, the guitar is shining with your playing. Thank you so much for bringing this music to the Open Mic America stage. All right. Well, so now our next performer here at Open Mic America is going to be AJ Kapowski from Chelmsford, Massachusetts. This is AJ's first time on the Open Mic America stage, and so we want to give him a warm, rousing welcome. And AJ's favorite local open mic is the Petersham Jam. And is that where you're at in Chelmsford?
So Petersham is another town, a few towns over from here.
Okay. Well, so we're looking forward to hearing what you've got to play tonight. I'm going to turn this stage right over to you.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, and I'm happy to be here. A lot of great music going on tonight. The first song I'm going to play, I made an album about a little over a year ago, and this is the title track to the album, and so I'll start with that. Time to sell the summer place after my father died. Drove up to clean out the cobwebs of a long and well-lived life. And they're rusting in the barn like a postcard from the past. Was my 60 Pontiac radio below the dash. I think the wheel still had dirt from riding to your mother's place. Driving fast 'cause we were always coming home too late. Radio blaring Rolling Stones from the speakers in the rear. Echoes of you singing still ringing through the ears. We were singing Wild Horses with the radio, swearing we would never let each other go. My arm around you everywhere we drove, singing Wild Horses with the radio. Scooping cones all day at the Shake Shack on Chestnut Street. And after work you'd be bouncing and singing in my car's front seat. Nothing could drag us away, the living was easy to do. And it never crossed our minds that summer was ending soon. We were singing Wild Horses with the radio, swearing other go. My arm around you everywhere we drove, singing wild horses with the radio. Standing in that barn with your memory and my car, I smile at the kid I was and I wonder where you are. The rusted car won't drive and the summertime is gone, but I slide into the front seat and I turn the music on, singing wild horses with the radio, swearing we would never let each other go. My arm around you everywhere we drove, singing wild horses with the radio. We were singing wild horses with the radio.
Yeah.
And this next song is one that I pretty much just finished, so it's about as new as they get. I was staring at my scotch and the battered cardboard box when your ghost stopped by and asked if she could sit. Old letters yellowed by the years, and old feelings rising from the ink. Reflections off the glass play a dance over your words, and I can almost hear you whisper them to me. And for a while I'm back with you, till you disappear and the glass whispers the truth. I found the love letter stored in a box in the corner on my closet floor, and suddenly I'm missing you as bad as I did before. Memories bursting out, can't hold them in anymore. I'm lost in a box of love letters that I found on my closet floor. I'm drinking my way back through all of those years. A couple kids, good times and some bad. Since the day you promised me your heart, I wouldn't trade even a tiny part. I found the love letter stored in a box in the corner on my closet floor, and suddenly I'm missing you as bad as I did before. Memories bursting out, can't hold them in anymore. I'm lost in a box of love letters that I found on my closet floor. My son comes by tomorrow, I know I gotta do the move. Everything's packed up in this house except the memories of you. Everything's packed up in this house except the memories of you. I found the love letter stored in a box in the corner on my closet floor, and suddenly I'm missing you as bad as I did before. Memories bursting out, can't hold them in anymore. I'm lost lost in a box of love letters that I found on my closet floor. I'm lost in a box of love letters that I found on my closet floor.
Great. Great.
Nice, AJ. Those are nice songs. They're both looking at something in the past, both through a medium, which is kind of interesting. One being a radio in a car, and one being a box of letters. Um, do you for the songs you write, are you usually writing about something that had happened in the past, or do you do anything for the future, or what?
It's pretty varied. I guess, now that you pointed out, I did pick two songs that kind of have that thematic looking at the past thing, um, and I do write songs like that, but I do a pretty broad variety, looking forward, looking back. It's
Yeah, on
yeah,
that.
yes,
The uh, the radio thing is something that the radio in the car is something that is particularly evocative, I think, in that, having a radio that's feeding you songs while you're in the car is different from playing your own,
right.
from either from a tape or from a CD or from something. It creates a different relationship between you and the music and what's happening around.
It does, absolutely, and that's, I think, to some extent, that's a function of our age. You
Uh-huh.
know, that was kind of the major way of getting music in a car back when I was young, anyway.
Yeah, me too. Back then, uh, and it's interesting that both of your songs had this media thing because looking to the past through the letters is also a way of uh, reading and storing knowledge of the past.
Right. Yeah,
And
and that
this,
one was actually that was inspired. I had been doing some genealogical research, and I actually came across a box of love letters between my parents, and so
uh-huh.
the song went in a different direction, but the finding of this box of love letters kind of was the stimulus for creating the song.
Yeah, I found the same thing after both my parents died. Probably
Yep.
something similar,
Yep.
a box of letters that had been written before they were married. Uh,
Exactly. That's exactly the
and
same.
what a time machine that is to go back.
Yep.
and yeah, I got a lot of God. I wish I knew this when I was a kid because I would have understood their behaviors differently and their
Yep.
attitude toward me probably. Maybe I
Yep.
wouldn't have given them such a hard time.
Yeah, no, it definitely creates a different perspective, and so your experience sounds almost identical to mine. Finding them after they died and kind of getting this window that you didn't have before.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I haven't uh, put a song together about it, but it's to fall into that process would is lovely
yeah,
and rich, I think, and is a great reason and illustration of why we write songs. Right?
yeah, yeah,
You
absolutely.
don't have a choice. You find it. And, I got to get at this. Here's a way.
Yep, yep.
Thanks, AJ.
All right, thank you.
I enjoyed your songs. I hope to hear you again here.
Great. All right, thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much, AJ. Okay, so our next performer Patrice Webb in Sandpoint, Idaho, is already queued up and ready to go, as we can see. So the community of Sandpoint, Idaho, is right around 9,000 population. That's really pretty small, in the grand scheme of cities. And so, unfortunately, the shelter in place orders that came with COVID-19 closed maybe the only open mic that was in town.
Yeah,
And
we had two actually, and they haven't really come back to life. So
yeah, that's it. They didn't come back. So Patrice reaches out through virtual open mic, hence Open Mic America. We could say right now, at least at this moment in time, is your favorite open mic. And so we're glad that you're here, and we're excited to hear what you're going to play for us tonight. Why don't you go ahead and take it
thank
away?
you. Yeah, it's good to be back. So so I'm gonna send this first one out to Joel Osteen. He inspired this song. I had a dream about him. So anyway, it's called Mercury Rising Blues. Well, the mercury is rising, it's only 10:30. I miss it praying to heaven, and it won't come back again. But I'm gonna leave this city, even if I have to crawl. I'm gonna leave this city before I take that final fall. Well, I grew up in the country where the grass is tall and green. Couldn't stand the comfort, so I left at 17. I hitchhiked to the city with nothing but my name. I lost everything I had because I could not play the game. This preacher man, he told me that he could buy me out. I gave him all my money and he built himself a house. He left me on the sidewalk, street walking for my pay. And now that old preacher man just won't give the time of day. Now some they call me sinner, some they like to sin, some just pay the money and you know I just can't win. They see my empty pockets and they line them with fool's gold. So Lord, I'm walking down this highway, I've been bought and I've been sold. The mercury is rising, I'm leaving here today, 'cause the devil's dancing circles round the boundaries of my grave. But I'm gonna leave this city, even if I have to crawl. I'm gonna leave this city and let that preacher take the fall. I'm gonna leave this old city and let that preacher man take the fall.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Good song. Wow.
I just was feeling kind of bluesy tonight. I don't know why, but Now, if I can get this thing in here. Oh, come on. Hold on. I gotta take it off to get it in there. This is why I never play 2 songs in a row when I'm on stage that are, there we go. So this next song, I'm just gonna say I decided to do it because, as you know, we had a time change today. So I'm thinking everybody is thinking that it actually is what, later when it actually is earlier or something like that. So this is how I was feeling this morning when I woke up. Anyway, it's my favorite beverage. We all have beverages we need, and we all have beverages that that are necessary and the ones we love. So this is a necessary beverage. So. Good morning, caffeine. Nice to see you again. Come on over here and give me back my brain, my good reputation. It's dependent on you. I need a cup of that mojo to chase away these Monday morning blues. When I head off to work, I need a big steaming cup, as long and as wide as a Big Mac truck. My present situation, it's in need of repair. And a big fat cup is what I really need to clear the air. Now some like their pills, some drink till they drop, some smoke that wacky tobacco like it's never gonna stop. If you need a lift, you can take it from me. I'll take it from me now. Just grab a jolt of that good jolt and set your aching mind at ease. So good morning, caffeine. So nice to see you again. Come on over here and give me back my brain, my nasty reputation. It's dependent on you. I need a cup of that mojo to chase away these Monday morning blues. Just a cup of that mojo to chase away these Monday morning blues. Oh, chase 'em away. Those Monday morning caffeine blues.
Woo! Woohoo!
Agree to that.
Hi, Patrick. When I was growing up, my parents did have a collection of 78s, and one of the songs on it was called 40 Cups of Coffee.
Oh, really?
But it was sung for a spouse that wasn't getting home.
Ah.
40 cups of coffee, won't you please come home? I like yours because you're speaking directly to the caffeine, which is frankly my experience with caffeine. It's direct and it's personal. You have a very relaxed style when you sing. Have you been performing for a while?
Yeah, quite a number of years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that's locally there
No,
with open mics?
I perform up and down, well, throughout Idaho, Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, mostly the West Coast states. I've been to Alaska a couple times, back east just once. So yeah,
Oh, that's wonderful. How
yeah.
much of your time do you do this full time
No, no,
gig?
no. I mean, well, I don't think anybody does this full time anymore, but
Yeah.
no, I mean, I play, I play a few folk festivals here and there, and I love house concerts,
Uh-huh.
and I love, I have a couple of little venues that, that host, listening rooms, as those are my favorites, so
Mhm.
for obvious reasons. Yeah.
It's a yeah, your songs and your delivery seem like they're made for, say, a small room of people to listen, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a personal space type of song,
Hmm.
um, kind of a preamplification space. It's like, and are there when you're in open mics, since the forum here is open mic, when you find those uh, close to you now, are they mostly acoustic, or what are the?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we had going on was a big blues jam at one of our local. Actually, it is still going on. I need to get back down there again. But most of them are acoustic open mics. Small, which I kind of like because you get to meet a lot of people, and they're kind of more intimate than. I'm not really an electric person, I guess. I never
Uh-huh.
have been. I've always loved acoustic blues and swing, and I could have lived back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, musically speaking. So, you know.
Uh-huh. That's nice. Um, yeah. Lucky for us, there are a lot of recordings from that time,
Yep,
and
there are.
I mean, certainly we get some of our knowledge of that music and learning that music through people who are passing it on. But the recordings are something that brought so much of it, kept it from being lost, and those are amazing things. So, where are your travels taking you in the near future for
Well, I'll be in
singing?
Washington in the end of the month for a week or so, and then just home. I haven't got a ton of stuff. Since COVID, I've kind of been deciding how much tromping around the countryside do I want to do. So
Yeah,
we're tending to do a little less. I'm getting up there in years.
yeah,
So
it has so transformed every aspect of our lives.
yeah.
But with music, it does it all the more. I find myself focusing more at home and getting out more and more over things like this open mic through the computer.
Hmm.
And I don't know how much. I mean, I can play for myself and amuse myself seemingly for years and probably to a fault, but the social side of music is super important, I think, and we're all the poorer if we don't get out and share
Hmm.
that with others. And so, just a thought.
Hmm.
I look forward to seeing you. Are you headed down to California anytime soon?
I'm gonna try to get down there a little bit this summer, um, if I can. Yeah, I'm working on trying to do that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Okay. Well, if you get down to the Bay Area, I'll see if I can hear you if
yeah.
you come this way. Let us know. Nice to hear you,
Thank
Patrice.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Thank you for gracing the Open Mic America stage tonight. We'll look forward to hearing from you again. All right. So now, rounding out this day of live music on the Open Mic America stage, We're going to now hear from Evan Purcell from not too far from me down here in Beaverton, Oregon. You're up in Tacoma, Washington. That's a really quick drive, and occasionally there's something on Craigslist that catches my eye. Tacoma's not too far away. I remember Peter Frampton at the Kingdom was like, Tacoma rocks. That's all I can say. But you like the local Curran Coffee House Jam there in your town of Tacoma, and we're glad that you found it and that they found you. We're glad that you're back on the Open Mic America stage. The stage is all yours, Evan.
Oh, thanks very much. So I'm going to do a couple of brand new ones. Been trying to do a song a week here lately, and so these are the last two that I've managed to catch. Playing in sort of an open D tuning. So this is called Old Moon. Hey, old moon, where are you tonight? We're all feeling a little lost down here on earth. Small, so small, hardly anything at all. Turn your head now and tell me where it hurts. Ball your fist and come out swinging, tell me secrets no one knows. What's the chance that you and I are both awake? Hold my breath and bite my tongue, it'll be over when it's done. Just be careful that you don't get in the way. Get in the way. Old shoes, the sidewalk wore away, scattered on these roads we used to roam. I can't believe that anyone would recognize my face when I finally settle into where I'm going. Ball your heart up on your sleeve, tell me when it's time to go. Is life easier when you don't know what's at stake? I'm drifting off and feeling numb when it's all been said and done. You'll see you didn't miss much anyway. Gray skies, the seasons come and go. The more things change, the more they stay the same. The storm is blowing white-tipped waves, there's a king tide tonight. The gulls ride out the wind on Commencement Bay. Heavy rains come from the south, stay on shore, head on out. You know anyone's a fool who plays that game. Tell the people that you love that they always were enough. It was just that other dreams got in the way. Got in the way. Hey, old moon, where are you tonight? We're all feeling a little lost down here on earth. Small, so small, hardly anything at all. Turn your head now, tell me where it hurts. Turn your head now and tell me where it hurts. Woo! Thanks. All right. So, I usually like to have these things memorized, but these ones are just, we're going to have to read them because that's just how it is today. So, it's a song called Saltwater Rain. Was that outside my window at 4 a.m. Am I to believe it's early, oh, that we somehow slept in? You come late to the party, you come late to the ball, you come dressed in your finest, or in nothing at all. Every time I try to feel indifferent, this different feels the same. Saltwater rain. Counting down mile markers every time they pass by. By the sound of your voice, we're gonna be on this road for a while. Oh, with the sun in your eyes, a smile crosses your face, like you've captured a picture that can't be replaced. Sometimes these moments of love can be hard to explain, like saltwater rain. Time drifts along slowly as it goes by. It's the pieces that get lost forever in the blink of an eye. Well, we never seem to notice here, but gets harder to ignore. Yeah, if life is for the living, what's the rest of this story for? Oh, warm moon arching its way through the stars tonight. In the Big Dipper Basin, a satellite transits the sky. Well, when we said our goodbye the last time we met, well, I gathered you close so I wouldn't forget all the warmth of your breath and the way you whispered my name in the saltwater rain, saltwater rain. Now time it drifts along slowly as it goes by. It's the pieces that get lost forever in the blink of an eye. What we never seem to notice here, but gets harder to ignore. Well, if life is for the living, what's the rest of the story for? Well, out in the harbor, the sailors have come in from the sea, armed, tired, and ragged, together to get some relief. Well, they drink to the morning and drink to the night, tell stories of friends no longer alive, and remember old lovers and all lovers the same in the saltwater rain, saltwater rain.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Right?
Well, that was great, Evan. Thanks a lot. That was good. Wonderful lyrics on that. The guitar matches them wonderfully, but the lyrics were great. I liked with Saltwater Rain that you kind of saddled up to maybe it was tears, and then you kind of saddled up to maybe it was the ocean and the sailors coming in, but you didn't ground to either of them. It's simply resonant in the song, which keeps your attention throughout, and it's so a lovely structure that I think you had in that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
It does. I think that's exactly right. That's how I sort of see it myself. So
yeah,
that's certainly what I tried for.
It's nice. I mean, the chords also were open, and so there was that same type of open space within it with the music, so that the lyrics that came in and the words and the images that stayed open. You know, um, uh, the stars in the sky and the space. It was great. It was very nice when.
Thanks. Yeah, the open D tuning is a new one for me. I just started this few weeks back, and you know, it's always sort of fun, and you get some songs sometimes when you find a new tuning to do, and it's like, oh, well, look, I got a couple of new ones, and it's sort of a nice little. I felt like I was on a nice little roll, and sort of fun to try new stuff that I'm not that comfortable with, and just wanted to sort of like, all right, well, let's do a little playing and get it out there. And
Yeah,
learn
I
these.
find that new tunings are kind of like moving to a new space.
It can
There are
be
all
for
these
sure.
little areas that they suggest. How about this? How
Yeah,
about this? You know,
yeah,
over here. Oh
yeah,
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 I'd
for
heard that
sure.
before, but I'd never found it here.
Yeah,
Uh, I also like the line, every time I try to feel different, different seems the same. Uh, you know, that kind of irony, but uh, it doesn't hit you over the head with it. A lot of the your lyrics kind of introduce themselves and then go on to something else without having to be the focus of the song. It's
yeah.
all kind of a solution type of thing in the terms of a chemical solution where it's all there.
Sort of mixed together. Yeah, it does sometimes. It comes out that way sometimes for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little more narrative driven, and sometimes it's a little less. It sort of drifts in and out of that. So
Uh-huh. Right. That's very nice.
yeah.
Um, so how long have you been playing?
Well, I've started. Yeah, when I was a wee tyke. I think I was 13, and I'm 50. I'll be 58 here soon. So a long time. Played in bands my whole life as a sort of guitarist, lead guitarist.
Uh-huh.
And during the pandemic, when we were all shut down, really started doing more serious songwriting. I've always written songs, but started taking some workshops and doing some things along those lines. I have a couple of CDs out, but I haven't had one out in quite a while. And I was sort of feeling like I was a songwriter who wasn't writing any songs. So the pandemic sort of really helped with that, and found some places that I could do online, and was really, yeah, it was really nice. So I've been writing quite a bit. I've got a lot of stuff I want to. I think I've got another album in me. Maybe we'll see, but that's my goal this year. So we'll see.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd be glad
Yeah,
to hear it.
yeah, thanks.
Did you get during the pandemic, did you find that your groups broke up and you spent more time on your own there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was. It's hard. I mean, I think too, as you get older, it's harder to find musicians that want to, play original music, that have that kind of time. Everybody's got families and lives and all of those sorts of things. So putting, 5 people together in a room becomes a lot more challenging. And the added pandemic, all the challenges of that, I think, also contributed to sort of
Uh,
like, well, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to keep slugging through, and that's what I just tried to do. Matt Meehan, who's also been on this program, I think in the past, as a songwriting workshop, which I've gotten a lot out of, and really appreciate him for that. So it's been good. It's been a really great couple of years here of material that have been coming out. So I've been really happy.
well, that's great. Well, absolutely. Get them recorded. That's both songs were lovely. So that's um,
I appreciate
I
that.
think that's great. All right, I'm gonna hand you back to whoever is taking it from here. And thanks again, Evan. I enjoyed your music.
Well, thank you.
Indeed, Evan. Anytime that I listen to you on this open mic and a couple of the other virtuals that I've had the privilege of being at, yeah, I always feel like I'm sitting with somebody familiar with the music that you're writing. It's a great feeling. Thank you for sharing that. And while the two of you were talking, it got me to reflecting the years from 72 to 92 were really kind of a blur for me. 77 was Frampton at the Kingdome, but it was Aerosmith in the Tacoma Dome that made Tacoma really so memorable for me.
I think my first one was David Bowie in the Tacoma Dome. That was the one. So that was 83 maybe. So
right.
I only moved here. I moved here in 1981 or 1980. So I grew up overseas. So came here as a 15-year-old.
Wow. Well, I'll look forward to hanging out with you again, Evan. All right. And then speaking of hanging out with everybody, I'm going to thank you each one at a time. Wave at your fans, as everybody's watching. Everybody is muted if we can be. And so thank you, Glenn Merschel, Alice Osborne, Jill Einschneider, Max Newton, Brian Eyre, AJ Kapowski, Patrice Webb, Evan Purcell, and thank you, Robert Edgar, for interviewing today. We definitely want to thank the wizard behind the curtain, TK Tran. Thank you so much for that. And I'm Evan Acey. I MC tonight, and we always want to thank Capo Dave Williams, our founder, who is here and always working tirelessly behind the scenes to make all of this happen for sure. All right, so we also want to thank you, the audience on YouTube. Without you, we would be just musicians playing for each other, which we would be enjoying, but we're so happy that you're here. If you like what you hear, then spread the word. Don't keep it a secret, please. You can even download and print your own posters like I have back here, and you see others from our website, and hang them somewhere where folks can see them. That will help get the word out. You can also get a t-shirt through openmicamerica.com. Please check out your local open and virtual mics. We have listed the ones where our performers play under the local open mics tab on the website. Our next show is going to be March 19th. Same time, same station, with Capo Dave Williams as our engineer. Daphne, it will be our MC. Alice Osborne will be our interviewer. So stay tuned for the next full lineup of performers. All right, everybody. Thank you again for watching Open Mic America. Tell everybody about it, and let's gather again next time. Good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.